Don't look at me. All right then, have it your way. I understand. I wouldn't be able to look away either. What? The blood? I figured that would be your first question. When I was a kid, my dad taught me how to slaughter a hog. I grew up in one of those parts of the country where killing what you eat was a way of life, a rite of passage. He picked one of the smaller ones and handed me this knife that had a long curve to it. He called it a butcher knife. He sharpened it right and proper before handing it over. Sharp enough to cut a sparrow's breath, he liked to say. Now, if you think this is going to be one of those stories, well, I tell you, I rescued the pig, and we ran off together into the woods and lived happily fucking ever after. You might as well just leave now and don't let the door hit you on the way out. There are no happy endings in this world. I am living proof of that. He handed me the blade and told me what I had to do. He'd been teaching me on deer carcasses or whatever roadkill he happened to find on the way home. He taught me how to slide the blade in between the jawbone and the ear and run it around to the other side, like you were cutting a watermelon. He said I wasn't allowed to look away either. He said the first time you killed something, you had to understand what you were taking. I slid the knife into the pig, and the blood was warmer and thicker than I imagined. And it was just him and me, and he looked at me, and for a minute, nothing happened. He didn't realize what was going on. And then just as his eyes started glossing over in a panic, I ran the knife around to the other side. He laid there on the ground, staring up at me, and I stared back down at him, deep, ragged breaths coming from both of us wondering, what type of world allows this to happen? And I saw that moment where life transitions from one way of existing to another. I'm not saying that pig saw a white light that guided it up to some type of hog heaven, but something happened, clear as day. Here's the thing about butchering a wild animal. They don't want to die. And men, they're just like hogs. When you kill a man, it's just the same thing. He doesn't want to die either. He looks at you, and you can see his whole life in his eyes. All his dreams and hopes and fears, all his fuck-ups and regrets, they're all there, bubbling up to the surface, pleading, begging to live, begging not to be forgotten. You can see the boy and the man all mixed together. And for a minute, they look innocent. Then you remember what he did to you. There's this bar north of town. Nasty place full of dirty women and even dirtier men. I'd only been there once. A friend dragged me along. It wasn't really my scene. But there was this guy, Sam, a true son of a bitch and uglier than homemade sin. Probably in his 40s, gray and beard. And he had a tattoo on his forehead that said, "Place pussy here," with an arrow going down his nose pointing to his mouth. a kind of prison tattoo made with a Bic pen, a needle, and a bottle of tequila. Sam liked to buy shots for young girls who already had too much. It was this kind of strange mixture of 1 part vodka, 2 parts 20/20 Mad Dog, and 3 parts whatever pill he happened to slip in. He called it cock water. I'll never forget the taste. Sam likes to draw smiley faces on index cards and tape them over your mouth while he fucks you. You wake up hours later. That's all you're wearing. I still have mine. I went back tonight. I sat in a corner. I watched Sam. He had his eyes on a young blonde. Wouldn't you know it, the cock water began to pour. They danced. They did a shot. They danced. They did a shot. After a few rounds, she forgot about his awful tattoo. After a few rounds, she didn't know where she was. I followed Sam into the bathroom, took the stall next to his. This motherfucker talks to his dick. He gave it a pep talk, shared the game plan, bragged about his former conquests, compared victims. That's when I taped that smiley face back over my mouth and took out my knife. I had all these lines planned, like, remember me? Or, does this smile look familiar? But the truth was, when I kicked open that bathroom door and I saw him sitting there, vulnerable, scared, shitting, there were no words. I simply slid that blade under his jawbone and around to the other side like I was cutting a watermelon. It was surprisingly, yet disturbingly easy. Shadows formed immediately around his eyes, where regret burned and left a path for memories to fade. That's when I forgave him. Oh, sorry. Hi, my name is Frances. I'm 34 years old. I bag groceries at Fratelli's Market, and I am a rape survivor.